Hello. Happy Thursday, everyone. Tuesday. Goodness. Starts with a T. Come on in. Let's get busy. Okay, let's get busy. Come on in, folks. Here we go. We got people. They're coming in. Yay. Tuesday's a fun day. This is when we send out menus. This is when all kinds of things start happening here on Saving Dinner. There's my friend Marla. And Heidi's here. Sarah, come on in, you guys. The water's fine. We're going to be talking about failure today. Anybody ever feel like, gosh, I can't seem to get this together? I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Because failure is a learning tool, you guys. It's a learning tool. Hi, Brenda and Trisha. Look at all my ladies are coming in. It's good to see everybody. Hello, hello. Come on, bring your friends. We've got things to do. Good evening from Wales, says Karen. Wales. I need to come to Wales sometime, Karen. I want to see Wales. I've never been there. I had a Welsh grandfather. Too. Every month, darn hormones, man, it happens. Hello, beauty yourself. Hi, Brittany. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. Tuesday is a tip day. It's a tip day. And today I want to just kind of transition some of that mindset stuff because it's so important on how we think about different things, okay? And how we think about different things, specifically failure. Because we have a tendency to beat ourselves up, throw the baby out with the bathwater. You know the drill. And I want to get that out of the system and put in a new paradigm for how we view failure. That's what we're going to talk about today. I think it's really important, and it helps set us up for always winning. Always being in a winning position. Because when we're in a winning position, we understand that life works for us. It's not working against us. And we can start expanding out our viewpoint of how we see the world, how we see the lessons that come to us, and being able to, get rid of all the crazy talk that we put in our heads. It's insane, right? That crazy talk is what takes us down. It's not what happens to us, it's how we respond to it. And we'll talk about that. First of all, we have these two books are going out today. Or have gone out already. Right up. Yay, 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 yay. 2 books. We had Sandy Smuck, and also we had Jan Ballard, Thrower. Go. Both of those books have been earned and sent. Now, what I do with these books is I send them out to the people who share the most. And when they share, they put it on public. When they share this video, they put it on public so I can see it. And then they actually say something like, hey, this nutritionist has been helping me, or watch these videos for some worthwhile stuff, whatever. And I appreciate that. I like it when you share, and I like to get the message out. And we are in the business here of saving and helping people. We want to get them out of the diet hamster wheel, right? You know what that's about. That's one of the things that we do. On Monday, though, I will start giving out the Saving Dinner for the Holidays book. Now, the Saving Dinner for the Holidays book has nothing in it that has anything that's diet sensitive. What it does have in it are all the major holidays, all the holidays. And each one of them has a sort of a game plan, like this is what it is. This is how, there's a timeline. So send your invitations out now, get your linens pressed now. Here's some helpful hints to make things easier. One of the things that I do, Marla was sharing this today, is I make little 3x5 cards for all of my dishes. So there's the cranberries, the stuffing, the gravy, and all of that. So you pull out all your serving dishes ahead of time, put the 3x5 cards in them, and then put that aside. And guess what? When you've got people in the kitchen helping you at the very last minute, they'll know what to do without you having to take your eyes off the gravy and burn it. There it is. There it is. So that's what's going on with that. And Saving Dinner for the Holidays book will be going out next week. I think I've got 4 of them, and we'll be giving those out during the month of November, which is almost here. What happened? Can anybody tell me what happened to the month of October? How'd we lose it? Good grief. The other thing that we're talking about quite a bit here is, and I have been answering a lot of private questions, like like you've been messaging me on Facebook about addiction. Food addiction is a real thing, you guys, and I will never, ever, ever say to you, just ignore it, just pretend it doesn't exist, because I know what food addiction is. I've dealt with it myself, and let's just say, it's a many-faceted thing, onion. It's a many-faceted, many layers of the onion there on addiction. And getting rid of addiction is something that you perpetually are working on. But that's okay. We're always perpetually working on becoming excellent, right? We've talked about excellence before. What is excellence? Excellence is trying to do better the next time around. It's not about perfectionism. It's about doing well. And that's what we want to do. That's what we're all about. So if you want to understand a little bit more about what this whole addiction thing is about, read this book. Marla and I go into great detail about addiction and how it has affected our lives and affected our bottom line that we're sitting on, our body clutter, and getting out of that cycle. And, as we've gone on 15 years later, after this book has been done, we are now looking at the next layer of the onion, and that is to get off of the diet carousel of crazy. And this is where we're coming in and creating a lifestyle and a plan and an ideal that we can live our lives in a way so that we're not doing this nutty nonsense that we've been sucked into. And we will be doing all of this. And we will be sharing all of this as we go along. And a lot of this is in our new book, which is in production right now. And I cannot wait for that to be ready, but it's coming to a theater near you. Let's just go with that. In the meantime, if you've yet to join the Hot Milk Club and you've done the sprint already, and I will say the sprint really is kind of a prerequisite, if you will. It gives you a good grasp of what we're trying to do and how all these things work. And as we go into the Hot Milk Club, honestly, the Hot Milk Club is there to help you build a personal plan that's right for you when you as you get in line with your own nutritional guru. Did you know that we're all not the same? Did you know one plan does not fit all? Did you know that? It doesn't. It doesn't fit everyone. There are some people who can have a little bit of the taste of sweet. It's not a problem. There are other people who have a taste of sweet and it game on, binge time. We're all different. And knowing who you are and getting in touch with your own inner nutritional guru and stop looking outside of that and ordering all those darn diet books, that's not going to do it for you. What's going to do it for you is understanding and knowing yourself. You already know. You already know probably half of it. You just haven't really paid attention to it. And my whole thing, and especially in the Hot Milk Club, is getting you to pay attention to your own inner nutritional guru and line her up with your plan so that you can do all the things that you want to do in your life. Simply like that. It is a simple thing. Not really easy, but it's a simple thing, and it's an important thing. Meanwhile, just to get the Hot Milk Club stuff out of the way, we have a link for you, savingdinner.com/club. If you've done the sprint, go take a peek at that, and it'll take you all the way through and show you what that's about. This is the next level up. This is, yes, getting personalized with your thing, and also understanding you've got more of a life to live than simply worrying about your food. And that's what I am also about. And I created this book called Take Back Your Life. And it is a journal for women desiring real change. We do things for 90 days at a time because that's bite size. We can do goals and visions and see ourselves 90 days out. Doing it for a whole year, we'll put it off. I mean, that's what my experience has been. But doing it for 90 days, that's a real deadline. That's something that we can see. I mean, I saw somebody posted something last week on Facebook that said there's 10 Fridays left until Christmas. Now, doesn't that just blow the back of your head off? We haven't even hit Halloween yet, but it's coming. Everything's coming. And speaking of what's coming, the first week in November, you will have access to all of my Thanksgiving recipes. Now that if you have the regular Thanksgiving menu mailer, this is what I created, I don't know how many years ago that was now. It's probably been 18 years. This is based on the Thanksgiving that I know and I grew up with, and I give you everything, all the information, all of it. Now, we have a regular Thanksgiving menu that's the one that I've created that Marla was talking about today. We also have a paleo menu mailer for Thanksgiving, and that's all created. We also have a keto one that's coming, and I will have everything ready to go on the first week of November. So you'll be able to download everything. And when you get to that page, and I will tell you what the page is later when it's all ready to go, you will have your choice. You can get the keto hot melt Thanksgiving, you can get the paleo one, you can get all of them. It'll also have a turkey 101, and this will give you all of like the troubleshooting tips, how to make sure that your turkey gets done right. And we do have a great turkey recipe, and it works every single time. And also we'll have a timeline set up for you. So all of that will help, because you know what the hardest part about Thanksgiving is? The very last minute when you're trying to get everything on the table at the same time. Well, no worries. I'll show you how to do that too. So just keep that in mind. It's coming. It's a free resource. And when the link is ready and when everything is ready to go, it will be there for you. First week in November. So pay attention for that. So let's talk. Oh, by the way, Thursdays at 2 o'clock Eastern, always, for my club group, for my club folk, I will be doing teachings and coachings in the group. And you will be being able to send in, pretty soon you'll be getting the questionnaire. If you're a yearly member, you'll get a questionnaire, fill that out, and then you'll get an Acuity link, which will let you make your appointment. And then I will meet with you one-on-one. And what's really important is it will be done on Zoom. It will be done eyeball to eyeball, so you and I are face-to-face. So learn how to use Zoom, which is not hard, real easy. And then we will get on together, which I'm so looking forward to. How fun is that going to be? The other thing that I have, so much news here. The other thing that I have to tell you is we are transitioning from our distribution center that's in Illinois, and we're bringing it in-house. And this is going to be a good thing for everybody. Believe me, it's going to be so much better. So this is what I want you to know, that we are going to be having a sale coming up on this and with our protein. So you can be watching for that. It is going to be a first come, first serve kind of a thing. No rain checks, no nothing. And it'll go until it runs out or until Sunday. But you will be getting an email for that on Friday. If you're not on our email list, you will not get that link. That's the only way to get it, is on our email. So go to savingdinner.com and there will be a little thingy that pops up. Get our emails and you will get the link for that, because it's going to be a dynamite sale. There you go. Now let's talk about what I want to talk about today. I think you'll like it. Failure is something that happens, right? We have times in our lives where something happens where we don't do well. We don't do something all the way. We blow it. We fall prey to a craving or whatever. And at that point, there's a lot of people in their perfectionism, and Marla talks about this. She has a story about a woman who lost a bazillion pounds, I don't even, like over 100 pounds or something, on a low-carb diet. And then one day she went off the rails and had a Snickers bar or two. And at that point, she decided, oh, well, it didn't work. And guess what she did? She went back to her old ways and gained all the weight back. That kind of a mindset is dangerous. And we need to dispose of that mindset. That's a perfectionism thing. And doing that is what puts us in the place of really never getting anywhere. We can't get it anywhere if we have an absolute perfectionistic viewpoint of all of this. It doesn't work that way. We have to understand that yes, we're humans. Yes, we take responsibility. Yes, we do the best that we can. Yes, we strive for excellence. But there's going to come a time where you're just going to blow it. Yes, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and say, okay, let's go forward with this. And I've shared with you before that using that experience as your teacher is important, and taking that experience and putting it in your file cabinet of life and pulling it out to show you the necessary lesson is important. But I also think that we need to look at the teacher. This is a teacher. And if we see little flags that say, this is we keep having this moment where we need to be taught, we need to go back and find out, how do we set ourselves up so that we're not going back to this same experience? And what I found for a lot of it is that a lot of times it has to do with an environment, you know? A lot of it has to do with environment. If I'm not set up, and if I don't have my routines down, your morning routine and your evening routine, you're stuck. You're stuck. But if you have your morning routine and your evening routine set up and it's been working for you, and now you're trying to do something else, trying to add something new to the mix, then what we do is piggyback. Marla and I have been talking about this quite a bit because she has been doing this with her own routines. She has a before dinner routine because she eats out a lot. So she's taking her salad dressing with her. She's taking her spinach with her. She needs to make sure that those digestimes, I'm talking to you, Marla, are in her purse. So she can take her digestimes before her meal. She needs to make sure that she has her little collagen shot and her bone broth before she goes. Because these are all little things that are a part of her plan, and setting those things up sets her up for success. You need to do the same thing. Piggyback on what you're already doing. I've shared this with you before, because failure is a good teacher, but it's only a good teacher if you listen to what the teacher's telling you. The teacher's telling you this isn't working, so it's time to change it, right? Here's an example. I wasn't getting in enough water. I found myself drinking a whole lot of coffee and being thirsty and what have you, and not getting in my water. But what I found is this. If I drink that first glass of water before anything, then I'm going to want more water. It's just funny how that triggers that. So now my whole thing is, while my coffee is brewing and I'm emptying the dishwasher at the same time, I get a whole glass of water down the hatch. I've also piggybacked on that I have to do my first 4-minute workout before I'm allowed a cup of coffee. So my coffee maker could be going off, ding, ding, ding. And I'm wanting that coffee really bad because I really enjoy that first cup of coffee in the morning all by yourself, sitting in the living room, looking at the view. I mean, it's one of my favorite times of day. But until I have that 4-minute workout done, which that's a piggyback, it also shows me, it gets me ready for the next one, which I do right after this show. So I do it. I have little times that just trigger those things. And same with the flights. The flights are on my phone and ding, ding, ding. It's time to go up and down the stairs. We can learn from our mistakes when we understand that a failure is just only a teaching moment. A failure is a teaching moment if we look for the lesson, and if we take the lesson out of it and we stop just saying, oh, well, it was just this or it was just that. And just, I'm going to brush myself off and go on to the next thing. You don't learn anything until you examine it. You know, be an examination. You know, let me just say this. I don't know if this is a good analogy or not, but when we're cleaning up and we're using our vacuum cleaner, if it suddenly stops, we need to look at the vacuum cleaner to see what's going on with it. We need to see if something is stuck up in the hose part or in the bag or whatever. And we need to take the stuff out of the rollers. We need to do things in order to get the vacuum cleaner moving again. Not that we're vacuum cleaners, but you understand what I'm saying. If something suddenly stops working, we need to take a look and see what it is. And sometimes we need to examine these things and take a closer look. That's what we need to do with ourselves, with our behavior, and with all the things that are going on. And this is why, if you have a constant falling down, you need to just stop the presses right now. Write things down. Journal it. Journal it and see what's going on here. When you journal it, you can kind of keep track of it. And when you've got a body clutter buddy, you can go back and forth with your body clutter buddy, and sometimes they'll see something you don't see. This happens all the time. Marla will tell you I showed her some things. I will tell you Marla's shown me some things in all walks of life. However we're doing. This is what friends do for each other. We have each other's blind sides. We have each other's blind spots. And when we do that, and when we have this constant examination going and understanding that this is a teaching place, that this is how we expand our lives, our understanding, and it makes things better. Nobody wants to live in a little narrow cave where it's all dark and cloistered in. We want to open things up. We want the light to show us what it is that we need to know. We need to flip the switch. Marla says we touch base first thing in the morning. We do. We tell each other what our weight is from the morning. And we talk about everything in the morning. We talk about what happened last night, how we slept. I mean, name it, we do it. And this has become such an important habit. It keeps us accountable, and it also keeps us on track. It's exciting to share this stuff. And I know, that my closest secrets are well guarded by Marla. Same with her. We talk about everything. And this is what you need to do with your body clutter buddy. When this happens, it takes your life to a whole new level. It takes your life to a whole new level because you now have something. You have a common ground. You have an understanding of what it is. You have a goal and a vision that you're trying to accomplish, each one of you. And you get to cheer each other on. There's nothing better than having somebody say, wow, look at you. You look great. And you're doing so good. You're doing so well. I'm so proud of you. Don't you want to hear that? I want to hear that all the time. I want to hear that I'm doing a good job. I want to hear that, yeah, this is working. Last night, Mark said to me, I noticed. He said, you look, I told him, I said, I have only lost a pound, but I've lost 1.5 inches. And he said, I can tell. He noticed. This is how it works. This is how it works. You want the noticing. You want people to come and be in your corner. They're for you when they're saying, I noticed. I care. You're a part of my life. I see you. It's important. Failure can be a setup too. It can be a setup that you've got too much going, that you're not taking things one at a time, and that you're maybe this is part of our perfectionism, we overload our plates. So that needs to be taken into consideration. We need to take a look at where are we on this whole thing. Am I trying to do too much? This is why planning is so incredibly important. And by the way, if you don't have your holiday control journal from Fly Lady, let me just say, after how many years of doing this, it's the only way to fly. You'll have everything done by December 1. Hello. And I'm working on all of that. I've got my stuff all ready to go. And how fantastic is that? I love being done with the holidays beforehand. And having things piled up is not my idea of a good time. And if you've ever been in that place, we all have, where you're trying to, wrap presents at midnight on Christmas Eve, it's just not fun. So this is all part of what we do. When we plan, we're planning for success. When we don't plan, we're just like, well, let's just see what happens. And guess what happens? It's a cluster. It's a massive mess. And you can't, you're overwhelmed. The word overwhelmed means that you're over your head. And overwhelmed can be prevented. You break it down. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, a little bit at a time. So the more you can stretch things out, the more accomplished you can be. Even just doing a little thing. One little thing. Doing that one little thing. Failure is a redirection too. Failure is telling you that this thing that you did, it didn't work. It's a redirection. What do we need to look at? We need to look at environment. We need to look at how can I set this up in order to make it work? Like I was just telling you, piggyback on what routines you already have set up and what habits you've already set up. If you could piggyback on that one habit that's already established, you're golden. Because then it's not having to create a whole new thing. You've already done it. I love that part, don't you? That just makes life so much easier. You just, add that to it. Add it to it. Make it happen. And then it's a reflection also. Failure is a reflection on our belief system. We need to question our belief system sometimes. We are not supersonic, can do anything, bounce bullets off of us, Superman women, but we are pretty much the queens of our own lives, aren't we? If we're the queens of our own lives, then we need to set things up the best that we can. And understand something. We have the ability, whether you own a company or not, to delegate. There are things out there to help you. For example, did you know you can get your groceries delivered to you now? Most places you can. Where I live, no, but that's okay. For most places you can, and it's going to cost you maybe $10, $5. Sometimes free. There's all kinds of free stuff everywhere. That's delegating, right? It's asking your husband to pick up the dry cleaning on the way home. It's having your children take the trash out on the way out to the school bus stop or whatever. But there is delegation available for you. Train your children, bring them into the mix, have them show them how to set a table properly. All these different things, when we do all these different things and delegate things out, we take it off of our plate. Do you see how that works? If we can take it off of our plate, then we're less likely to be overwhelmed, less likely to fail. So let's remember this. Don't be afraid of failure. Instead, look for the lesson that failure is trying to tell you. There's something there. And look for a way to set it up in a different way. Look for a way to set it up in a different way. The more that you can piggyback onto something that you're already doing, the more capable you are of getting it done. And if you need somebody on your side, if you need a cheerleader on your side and you haven't gotten a body clutter buddy, I don't know what else to do except say you have the ability to go into the sprint group and to say to somebody, I need a body clutter buddy. The people that I've seen that have body clutter buddies are the ones that are experiencing massive success. You don't have to have somebody in your own time zone. You don't have to have somebody even in your own country. You just need somebody who you can exchange phone numbers with and be on top of it with each other. It's a way to love someone, and it's a way to help someone, and it's a way to feel of value and to value somebody else. This is important stuff. So often we feel just all alone and the Lone Ranger. We don't have to do that anymore. We don't have to be the Lone Ranger. We have a lovely community for everything that we do. We do. A wonderful community. And when we reach out, we say, hey, can you pray for me about this? Or can you help me with this? Or I just can't see things this way. People will reach out. But when you take it a step up and you say, I want a body clutter buddy, I need somebody that I can be accountable with, I need somebody that's going to help me see things, then it goes to a next level. There's just nothing like it. If I don't hear from Marla in the morning, I would probably, and I kept texting her, whatever, and she didn't answer, I'd get in my car and drive down to her house. That's how dependent I am on that morning touch base thing. It's so important to me. It keeps me on the straight and narrow. It keeps her on the straight and narrow. We are better together. And you know what that does? It elevates the energy. It elevates the energy, the tenacity, and the persnickety stay-with-itness, if there's such a thing. I love it. Betsy said, I love my body clutter buddy. She's such an inspiration to me. You can be an inspiration for each other. Marla's an inspiration for me every single day. I won't miss one of her broadcasts. I won't miss it. And as a matter of fact, on my I have an Acuity link that for people who are making appointments for NutriCoach or for my new club members, and all of her times are blocked off. They cannot get, when she has her broadcasts, I've blocked off those times. So I can have that time to be on her broadcast because number one, I am there as a support. Number two, she's going to say something that I'm going to want to grasp. And she always does. We learn from each other. And if you're unteachable, unwilling, not open, you have nothing. We have to be teachable. A teachable spirit is somebody who then becomes the next best level of themselves. We need to do that. We have to be in this constant transitionary, changing it up thing. We don't want to stay the same. We want to get better and better and better. That's what love does to your heart, and it's what wisdom does to your head. We get better. We get better. As we get older, we don't want to just get older and just be this old, dusty, crusty version of ourselves. We want to get older, and we want to get wiser. We want to become more loving, more gentle, more caring. And our world's opened up so that we have room for everything that we want in our lives. It happens. It happens with this kind of an attitude and constantly looking for all of this stuff. We have the ability to do it. So watch for your patterns. There's a pattern there. That's what I've noticed with myself. That's why I banished chocolate from my life. There was a pattern. Every time I thought that I could put my toe into the chocolate pond, I found out I couldn't. I found out that it was a problem. It was a problem. It starts compulsive eating for me. Not good. That doesn't work for me. That puts me back into a place that makes the slide happen. The bad slide, not the good slide where you're like, in full on ketosis and burning, all the fat. Brittany says, I don't want to yell so much. And I'm assuming, Brittany, you have children. I'm going to give you a couple of things for that. One of the things that I did with my children, because I found myself in the yelling banshee thing, was that I was too rushed. Hurry up, let's go. Hurry up, let's go. Hurry up, let's go. I was saying that so many times. Get in the car, hurry up, let's go. Get in the car, hurry up, let's go. And it was my fault. It was my fault because I set my children up for not being successful with that. Getting there, and we were a homeschool family, so we had every Tuesday, and I still remember this as, because we had a routine for everything. And every Tuesday was our day to go for music lessons. And inevitably, we were looking for music, we were looking for everything. And so finally, and this is after I became a fly baby, Brittany says, yes, hurry up, let's go. Well, you know that routine. So finally on Tuesdays, I said, on Monday nights, I said, you have to have your instrument. My daughter played the violin, my son played the cello, your music book, your teacher's book, the teacher had a book, and it all needs to be set by the back door. So when we leave, it's ready to go. And I pushed back so that I was ready to go early. Okay? This is what I did. So we left 15 minutes earlier than we needed to leave, and we were ready to go. We were 100% ready to go. I made breakfast earlier. Everything happened earlier. I learned this from Marla. And it made life so much better. And this is something that you can do yourself. It makes life so much better. Just push back the schedule and put it for yourself so that you're ready to go. Hurry up, let's go. Get in the car. Hurry, hurry, hurry. You don't want your children thinking those are the only words you know, right? We don't want that. To bring it down a notch is to make sure that you're planned. The more planning you can do in your life, the more setting up for success that you can do for your life, for you and for your children, the better off you are. That's what your evening routine is about, setting you up for the night before. Setting you up the night before for your morning. That's all of that stuff. You have to follow that. And you have to make your own rules so that you are in that place. I noticed for myself that when I did that, we weren't in the hurry up, let's go mode anymore. And I loved it because I got closer to my children And I didn't have to apologize to them so many times. I made it a rule that I apologize to my children for yelling at them. And I would suggest that for you, Brittany, and any other mom. You need to make that a rule, because you would not tolerate that from your children if they were yelling at their friends like that. You'd make them go over and apologize for being so mean. When our children understand that we're human beings, that we make mistakes, this is what I would say to my children. I apologize for yelling at you. That was wrong. You don't deserve to be yelled at. Will you forgive me? And they'll say, they will forgive me. And I'll say, it's my fault because I was too rushed. I didn't have things set up properly. I'm going to do better next time. And the children have the sweetest, most genuine, generous hearts out of anybody. They will quickly forgive and they want to move on. But in order to move on, you need to do better for the next time. You need to set it up better the next time. You need to follow your morning and evening routines, and if needed, piggyback whatever it is that you need to piggyback onto those routines to make your own stuff work well. Because this is about self-care, yes, right? This is what we do. This is what we're talking about right now, is self-care and not destroying ourselves because we've failed at something. But it's also about going the next level and bringing our people to ourselves and bringing them into our little circle. I used to say to my children, we are the Elis. We are the excellent Elis. Therefore, we do things excellently. And it was just so that they understood that doing things well, not perfectly, but doing things well was an important standard to hold themselves to. And sometimes doing things well just meant getting it done. Let's just be honest. And we've talked, and I even talked to them about that. Getting it done. Go get those chickens fed. Go, water the goats and do all the different things. So they just had to get it done in the morning. And sometimes it was done better and well and faster than other times. And sometimes it just, we just barely got it done and got in the car and got going. But for me, it was setting up their routine, posting their routine, and having expectations and holding them to it. But I had to hold myself first to my routine. I had to hold myself first to my own excellence. So if I'm going to ask my children to be excellent, I needed to be excellent too. And that meant that I needed to get up and all of that. Now, if you're having problems sleeping, Brittany, you need to create a sleep routine for yourself. And anybody who has problems with sleeping, create a sleep routine for yourself. Go to bed at the same time every night. That's honoring your circadian clock. When you honor your circadian clock, you're going to do a whole lot better. And get this, from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. is the best sleep that you will get. That's just how your circadian clock works. And I'm not going to debate people who get up early, sleep late, whatever. I'm just telling you the way it is. This is the science, folks. If you don't like it, then go talk to the circadian clock people about it. It's just how it is. So I like to say to moms, get to bed and do it by 10 p.m. That's what my rule was, to get to bed by 10 p.m. And I would go at 9:30. It was an Epsom salt bath for 20 minutes, 2 cups, because that helped. The magnesium helped with the sleep. I'd take a magnesium tablet as well, or a capsule as well at night, because I needed it so badly. I had such bad sleep problems. I don't anymore, thank God, but still, I still take those Epsom salt baths. And to get off the screens, folks, get off the screens. Do you know that blue light on the screen is a problem? It's a problem, and it will keep you up. It stimulates your brain. You don't need that. You need to shut it down. It's that blue light. And make sure you're sleeping in a dark room that's cool, not too hot. And for heaven's sakes, sleep naked. Did you know that people who sleep naked sleep better? How do you like that? And I know your husband won't hate that. So sleep naked. Sleep in a cool room. I even crack, right now it's in the 40s at night. I crack the window this much just to get a little airflow in there. And I have the ceiling fan on, just going very slow, just to keep the airflow going, because that's how I sleep better. You have to do these things for yourself. As you do these things, it's going to change your life. You're going to start sleeping better and believe that you can sleep better. Listen to a meditation or do something, but start believing and setting your body up for better sleep. It'll happen, promise. Yes, you can use magnesium for constipation as well. Yay! We'll talk about poop another time. Today we were talking about failure. Anyway, that's it. That's what I have for you today. And I just want you to use this tip as any kind of, failure can be changed into an experience, which can be changed into a learning opportunity. You have the ability to do that. Get very strategic with it and take a look. Look at what you've got to deal with and find the problem. And sometimes you might need another pair of eyes. That's where your body clutter buddy comes in handy. Okay? Watch for our emails for the sale that's coming up this weekend. It's going to be coming out on Friday. You don't get that unless you're on our email list. That's it. That's the only way to get it. I will be hinting about it all week, but I'm not going to give it to you on Facebook Live. Sorry, got to do something. Jump through a hoop. And there will be no rain checks for that, by the way, too, as we transition over into taking our distribution in-house. So that's what I have for you today. I'm excited about, our transition and bringing all of our supplements in-house. I'm excited about all the things that we can do. And you guys can say a little prayer for me. I'm going through a 36-hour fast right now, and I'm so hungry. Here's to hot melt. Go out there, conquer the world, bring some friends with you, share this video, and I'll see you in the club, hopefully. Tomorrow, or Thursday rather, is our big first teaching. Peace. Thanks for joining me again. Bye-bye.